Well, see, what's coming up, he's got a deal where the public television channels across the United States are going to put on, I think it's a 6-minute segment. It's a good segment on his stuff. And he's going to get many hundreds of them. I don't know when that's happening, but I know it's happening. Any other questions? Yes, you had asked a question earlier. Go ahead, Mr.
Just a statement. I appreciate what you're doing. I'm not sure who you are, which campaign is, but Ed Vallejo made a point to me last week. I don't know if you realize it. He said, win, lose, or draw, people like you, when you get into a debate, you're able to keep the other two jackasses, or honest. You're able to, you're able to, basically bring things up that they have to answer to.
I'm not able to do that. Let me explain that. The way these so-called forums and debates are scheduled is you got only a few minutes. And by the time you're finished saying that I've got grandkids, I've lived in Arizona for so long, I'm not a monster, you got no time to say anything. Yes, sir?
When you're talking about the things you're going to do when you go to Congress,
yeah.
I didn't hear mention about the Federal Reserve. What's your position on the Federal Reserve? And would you do like what Kennedy started doing before he was shot? Go back to minting the United States currency? The kind of dollars and pounds of silver.
Well, okay. The Constitution requires Congress to control the money supply of the United States. I forget the exact words. Well,
gold and silver.
No, it doesn't say gold and silver. It says states shall only use gold and silver. It requires Congress to control the money supply. It doesn't say coinage. I've got it in another folder. But anyway, what Congress has done is they've lateraled or tossed the ball to the Federal Reserve. So then when things get all screwed up, then people can say the damn Federal Reserve. And they don't really have, the Federal Reserve is not accountable. That's the reason I think that Congress allowed the ball to be lateral. If the Federal Reserve was actually doing this, if Congress had the responsibility, then we could say, those such and such in Congress, throw them all out. So the congressmen would be very careful about what they did. Now, the Federal Reserve, the purpose of it is to allow deficit financing, okay? That's the purpose. So the government can do stupid things, whether it's a welfare state or the warfare state. So that's the purpose of that. So yeah, I'd try and join with Ron Paul. But I mean, if by some strange occurrence I should get in Congress, I would go over to Ron Paul's office, knock on the door, and I'd say, Ron, what are you doing now? What do we do next? That's what I'd do. And also one other guy.
To coin money, regulate the value thereof and of foreign coin, and fix the standards of weights and measures. Thank
you very much, Ed. I apologize, I was wrong. But that's Congress's responsibility, and the American people would discipline them, because now that's the same thing with the declaration of war power. What happened is same thing. Congress said, lateraled, and threw it over to the president, said, oh, you make those decisions. And the good part for Congress is they can't be held accountable. Now we've got a major screw up. Yes, sir.
Okay, last question. Go.
Finish your thought. You finished it? It keeps going through my mind. We seem to have politicians that are committed to nation's treason, whatever the word choice is. Do you think we got that kind of a problem in our country too, or am I the only one thinking like
well,
this?
let me answer it this way.
And where are the lawyers?
Oh, okay. I'll answer both of them. The lawyers are scared. Yeah. Like every other citizen. Oh, I can't deal with that, because I went to my lawyer friends that I did tough trials with. It was tough times. That I knew they were good people, and they knew I was good, and I told them about 9/11. They just, when it was all done, they said, so where are you going this summer? You get it? Yeah. Okay. Then the second question you asked about, or do we have politicians doing treason and all this? Remember Ben Quayle's little ad where he said that Obama was the worst president ever? Yeah. Well, I think, for a reason I won't go into, that George W. Bush was pretty close. But the one I want to say, well, what about Lyndon Johnson? Let's look at Lyndon Johnson. Okay. Lyndon Johnson participated in the murder of a president. Okay. He started the Great Society, which was the greatest screw-up, misdirection, entitlement program could be done. He got us in, he made big a completely loser, pointless war, okay? And then when the going got tough, he said, hey, I quit. So there's all sorts of bad guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You know, a lot of times, when things happen and it gets really bad, you're at a point to where you go, you know, wow, yay, now everybody knows that we knew that it was all screwed up and we were right, You see my point? There is no pleasure that you should take in the fact that we're in trouble. You know, yesterday on Freedom's Phoenix, I saw this one thing. It had a deal about Sarah Palin and how she's really, there's my grandson. Bring him on up. There you go. You know, my son Corsair, he used to always complain about his name. Corsair, I don't know anybody else has the name Corsair, and he names his son Corsair. So I'm like, ha! And I waited until after he did it and signed it, and I go, you know. So we have some fun with that. The one thing I wanted to bring up about Palin is that Newsweek did a big thing on Palin. Oh, she's this, and oh, she's that, and she's bad, and just building her up and building her up. And you go, well, maybe the left was kind of, thinking that was kind of a swipe at her. But of course, it was promoting her in a lot of ways and everything. And then the argument is that the left and the right are helping to build Palin up for something. Newsweek was so bad, going out of business, a billionaire bought him for $1. Took on all their liabilities, bought it for $1, and the guy just so happens to be married to a congresswoman. So this is, you can see the incestuous feeding frenzy on this stuff to take all the positions of institutionalized control of everything. I can see this happen. And it's getting to the point that we're going to be able to have an impact. This is what I'm going to share with you guys. Next weekend is like we're getting into the second week of October. That means we got just a few weeks before the election. Now they're already starting early voting and all that kind of stuff. Voting is not like, I don't care. That's not the point. What I want to do is where we are making these kinds of signs, is we have a bunch of different signs. I like one of the new ones that the guys are making is the Star Wars font. It says Star Wars, Well, it says Stop Wars, and it has Darth Vader helmet on the side wearing an Uncle Sam hat. Okay? They got that on Channel 3 when David Nolan was debating John McCain. And we were out there, and Barry and I, we went in, the studios and everything, and whenever, David makes something, we're screaming and yelling down the hall for the McCain people, and just being biased. But the thing is next weekend, Saturday, we're going to go at the workshop, and we have all these stencils that we are going to use to make a bunch of signs like this, and, Michael will have some to put up and everything too. We're going to make all these signs, hundreds of them. We already have the material cut. We already have the stencils cut. Now is the time for people to go to Freedom's Phoenix Workshop and make the signs. Then what's going to happen? Then we're going to put them up. Where would you put them up? One of them, they have these long, flag signs. Remember the Love Not War signs that I had done, if you've seen those? And it has quail, little stencil of quail like the Partridge Family or something. It has a big quail and then a little quail, and at the bottom it has a quail with green around like it's in the bush, and the slogan is, more quail from the bushes. Now that's what's going on in Michael's district. So all these are already done, and we're already making them. So this is what happens. Next weekend, we're going to do a mass production of signs all this week, and then this weekend, huge. Everybody come down, we're making signs. Then what? Where do you put this stuff? In addition to Michael's district, it has nothing to do with this campaign, I know, just because I can't first kiss my butt, okay? But we're going to go into Andrea Garcia's district running against Russell Pierce. And we have all the Stop War stuff, all the freedom stuff, all the, we need to focus. What we're going to do is focus in that district to go, oh, you want to play? We're here to play.
Well, Ernie, she was endorsed by the Arizona Republican. That Can't be good.
They definitely did that for themselves, I guarantee you that. It was against Russell Pierce more than it was for Andrew Garcia.